Welcome to Ofusu African Channel. And maybe this is the first time you are visiting this page. I don't know, but it's possible. And I know we have other followers too. And what we want you to do, or what I want you to do now, is first to subscribe this page, the videos, and then secondly, you like the page, and then thirdly, you share, so that a lot of people will actually know what we stand for. And in fact, we have done a lot of narrations on the Sahara, the actual Sahara Desert, in Libya itself, and now we are entering Benghazi. You understand? And I really want you to know a little bit something about the Arabs. You understand the difficulties in living within the Arab land. And probably this is, you also have intentions, because I know a lot of youth actually have intentions of traveling on the Sahara Desert, because once you get to Libya and you are able to make money, now the Mediterranean Sea is closer to you, and therefore you may have plans of actually changing the game by moving to Western Europe. But then I want you to follow me and know the encounters. Now, there are so many things that we went through, so that on the basis of those encounters, you may decide to go or not to go. And so our narration now takes us to Benghazi. And I wish, if this is your first time, now you go back, watch the previous videos, what actually took place on our journey, and at least you become abreast with the story that we are actually narrating. So we are about to start the story in Benghazi. I mean, what we really encountered in the next episode. Yeah, so okay, so in actual fact, we arrived in Benghazi around 4 p.m. and between 4 to 5 p.m. Yeah, I cannot be so specific about it. And so, well, I was so thirsty, you know, it was a long journey from Sabah to Benghazi. So I was so thirsty, and I entered a nearby restaurant to look for water. And in fact, when I tasted the water, it was very salty. You know, the water, the pipe water that we have in Benghazi is quite different from what we have in our country, Mother Ghana. I don't know, I have no idea, but I think because Benghazi is closer to the Mediterranean Sea, I really don't know. And of course, in those countries, there were no chilled water sellers there. You understand? So I had no option than to enter a restaurant to take the water, but it was very salty. And I later realized that all water in Benghazi were salty, but well, I became used to it. And so in most cases, what we do is to skim the liquid of lime and put it in the water to neutralize the salty content, so we can actually drink. And so on entering Benghazi, we went to a ghetto, and that ghetto was occupied by our brothers Ghanaians. And in fact, it was a building which experienced the bombing during the 1980s, when Ronald Reagan, the ex-American president, decided to attack Libya. And you know, it was actually the owner of the building actually neglected the building, and so there were some Ghanaians who were occupying those buildings. But at least when we went there, our brothers were not willing to accept us in the ghetto. And in fact, no matter the appeal we made to them, they refused. And so we slept at the entrance of the ghetto that night. And so on the following day, sleep or no sleep, I mean, work must continue. And so I had my bag on me, and then I stood, you know, in those times in Benghazi, now we had areas where hustlers now stand for them to be picked by the Libyans for manual jobs. And we call that name Travail. We call those places travail. So I stood there and then waiting for an opportunity for me to get a job. Now I realized